I had spinal stenosis, and the resulting surgery was at C6 and C7. And a couple of weeks after that, they had to do the same surgery, laminectomies at 11, T11 and 12, L1 and 2. And I had waited so long to get these things done that the nerve damage and the pressure on the spinal cord was so strong that when it was relieved, it wound up with paralysis in different areas. My legs were really atrophied. I couldn't walk without help. And my neurologist recommended that I come here because they have a pool which takes gravity out of the equation, allowing me to retrain my muscles. I was coming up very quickly on 50, and so aside from just the issues I had with the surgeries and the recovery from that, there's a host of other aches and pains and things you get along the way. And invariably every day I would come in, which is 3 days a week, I'd come in and say, they'd say, well, how are you feeling? What's going on? I go, well, I got this thing here. And next thing you know, they're saying, well, do these 4 stretches, and wow, it's gone. And every day you come in, there's always something bothering you, and you just wish, wow, if I could just keep one of these guys with me all the time. Just take one home with you, because they know the entire machine that we operate, and it's like having a mechanic at your disposal. I came here for a period of 6 months. When I walked in the door, I needed help, and they did an assessment, and you don't have any idea what they're looking for, but they know what they're looking for, and they do all these range of motion things, and then they tell you that well, if you'll return on such and such date and bring your swimsuit. And so I spent 3 months working in the pool, getting the motor functions back that are a lot easier to retrain your muscles when you don't have gravity working against you. And then the other 3 months, I was working dry land, which is you start on a treadmill. You still don't have to support the weight, but you're building the muscles back. And then you come in and work the treadmill, and it winds up, after 6 months, you wind up coming in and doing stretching and a little cardio, and the next thing you know, you're doing things you wouldn't have dreamed you could have done 6 months before. After the second surgery, where they did L1 and 2 and T11 and 12, within 3 days of that event, I wound up back in the hospital under unbearable pain. They call it nerve pain. They actually had to put me in a coma for 5 days, and they raise you up and try a medical cocktail, and they put you back under, and they raise you back up, and each time they wake you up and it's not working, you're out of your mind. And they finally get you to a point where you can go home, and you're taking literally cups of drugs every 3 hours, and it works. It's amazing how lucid you can be under all these heavy drugs. But along the way, you want off of them. And a couple of times I thought, well, I don't really need that anymore, and I would stop taking this one drug, and next thing you know, I am not functioning right. And the pain doctor that I had actually knows Sean, or Sean knows her. They all travel in these same circles. And so in talking to Sean, he says, well, what have you done? And I explained what I did. He goes, no, we need to call your pain doc. And so next thing you know, he's in the office having a conference call with her. And he's not a doctor, I know that, but he knows the business. He knows the business of the body. And next thing you know, it became a kind of a collaborative effort to get me weaned. And I don't take any drugs now. I take Advil as needed. Part of what I was going through in the healing process involved a lot of drugs. I had a pain doctor, and I was taking a lot of neurological drugs and narcotics and everything it took to manage the pain and to get the neurological systems back. But you have to wean off of them, and it was a really good collaborative effort between and my pain doctor. They were in touch a lot to wean me off of these, because you don't want to wind up addicted to drugs. You don't want to wind up taking things you don't need. And I was able to get completely free of drugs. If anyone was ever to need physical therapy, I would strongly recommend First Colony Aquatic, because they clearly know their business, and they clearly know how to not just take the body of knowledge that they have, but they know how to deliver it the way you need it. The customer service that they give is just, it's amazing. I walked out of here glad to be done, but regretting that I don't have to come here anymore. You become friends, and these people are the First Colony Aquatics team is it's been a while since I've been here, and I miss them, but I don't want to come back. Before I came here, I was unable to walk. I was unable to work. I was on short-term disability, which was probably going to be long-term disability. And after working with the First Colony Aquatic and the team here, and with my rehab doctor and everyone's expertise, I was able to go back to work after 6 months. And that was 14 months ago. I haven't looked back. I go to work every day. I'm able to do everything I need to do and everything I want to do. And I'm eternally grateful for their help. I couldn't have done it without them.